So, what's your net worth? Ha, just kidding. That could be awkward, especially if, like me, you've got $5.26 sitting in your bank account. So maybe we don't need to analyze rich people to make us feel poor, but did you know that Bill Gates booked all the helicopters on Maui and rented all the rooms at the Mandalay Bay Hotel in Hawaii just to keep his wedding to Melinda extremely private? This cost an estimated $1 million, and the time, ridiculous. If that hasn't got you feeling less than wealthy, we've compiled an entire list of rich people who make us feel poor. These people make us want to add a few zeros to the actual figure in our bank accounts with their luxurious and extravagant lifestyles. Mukesh Ambani. Ladies and gentlemen, please get into the BWM 760i and tighten your seatbelt. Oh wait, we don't have one, but Mukesh Ambani does. It's no surprise that the owner of the world's most luxurious home is number one on our list today. Mr. Mukesh Ambani, who is the chairman of Reliance Industries Limited, is the richest man in Asia with a net worth of $66.6 billion. He definitely has the riches of a king, so why not get a palace to crown it all up, right? He did just that. His skyscraper, named Antilia after a mythical island that lies in the Atlantic Ocean, is located in a choice neighborhood in Mumbai. Antilia is a 27-story state-of-the-art mansion that contains 3 swimming pools, an ice cream parlor, a ballroom, a gym, a hair salon, a temple, a snow room, yeah, it does what you think it does, a movie theater, space to house his 168 luxury cars, a personal workshop for the servicing of these cars, 3 helipads, and a spa. The mansion also has several elevators because how else are the staff and 5 members of the Antilia family supposed to get around? And of course, they didn't forget to make room for a garden. Repetition is a big no-no for the Ambani family. Mrs. Nita Ambani has a collection of expensive designer accessories, and she never wears the same ones twice. Also, no 2 floors in Antilia are alike. Each floor was designed with different materials. The top floors are reserved exclusively for the members of the family. If I lived there, I would never go out. Ever. No, seriously, I mean like never ever. Does anyone have any idea how to become an Ambani? Because it seems like I'm a little too late to get in by marriage. Jeff Bezos. It's not possible to make a list of rich people who make us feel poor without including the richest of them all, the CEO of Amazon, Jeff Bezos. He has a net worth estimated at around $145 billion. Clearly, Mr. Bezos' time is expensive, and he proves this by investing a whopping $42 billion on the manufacture of a clock that is meant to run nonstop for 100,000 years. He does know he can check his cell phone for time, right? Secondly, we just want to know if he remembers that he won't even be around that long. The billionaire owns a lot of choice properties, including a $23 million house that used to be a textile museum, an apartment in New York, a lake house in Seattle right next to Bill Gates, a robot dog, a Beverly Hills home, and many others. He also bought the Washington Post for $250 million. In an interview later on, the millionaire went on to reveal that he didn't negotiate with the seller and just paid the first amount that was requested. Can I get a resounding let your money do the talking? The Sultan of Brunei. Hassan al-Bolkiah is the longest reigning monarch, aside from Queen Elizabeth, who has been here since Adam and Eve, of course. The Sultan, with a net worth estimated in 2020 to be around $20 billion, definitely gets a spot on our list, and it's not for being one of the wealthiest monarchs. No, Your Royal Majesty, you made the cut because your car collection makes us feel like peasants. The 73-year-old has an estimated 7,000 cars. If he drove one a day, it would take him almost 20 years to go through his entire collection. In his collection, he has 10 out of the 77 super rare Aston Martins ever made. He has Ferraris, Rolls Royces, BMWs, and other cars. He also owns the only Cicero BDB Maestro ever built and the only right-hand drive Mercedes CLK GTR that was custom built. He's also famous for his 1,788-room palace that earned him a spot in the Guinness Book of World Records and his $12,000 haircut. Hand me a pair of scissors, Your Majesty. I will do it for half the price. Which of the cars in his collection do you fancy? If you could have one car, which one would you pick? Kylie Jenner. The Kardashian-Jenner clan put the E in extravagant, and today, the family's youngest member is here to represent them. Kylie Jenner is a billionaire, or a multimillionaire, depending on who you ask. The one thing that's certain, no matter what Forbes says, is that this young mother has more money than she can spend in this lifetime. The 22-year-old made most of her money from her cosmetic line, and while most 22-year-olds are struggling with what major to choose or trying to get a decent job, Kylie's living her best life in her $12 million mansion that houses her impressive garage, or any of her landed properties. She owns quite a few luxurious homes, and she seems to like cars as well. Her garage consists of a Mercedes Maybach, a Lamborghini Aventador, and many more. What happens when a socialite becomes a doting mother? somebody willing to go all out and spend millions on her daughter's birthday parties. She also spent a huge sum of money purchasing accessories for herself and her 2-year-old daughter, Stormy. Kylie's most expensive handbag is a white Himalayan croc skin Hermes that cost an amazing $432,000. We get it, Kylie. You're rich, no need to rub it in with the $50,000 Rolex. Wait, before we move on, did we tell you she once rented a jet, customized it baby pink, and had Kylie skin branded on it? Vladimir Putin. He didn't make this list for being Russia's president for 8 years and counting. That's pretty amazing too, but no, he's here for being a big spender. His net worth? Well, that's a little controversial, as some people have speculated that he's worth about $200 billion. But you didn't hear that from us. What you did hear from us, however, is that he's a billionaire with more money than he knows what to do with. Everything about Mr. Putin is proof of his luxurious lifestyle. He has a fleet of cars, 4 luxury yachts, and dresses in very costly designer clothes. Mr. President has an amazing watch collection. We'll come to that, but let's discuss his toilet first. He reportedly has a toilet that costs about $100,000 on one of his many aircrafts. When you're that rich, you can afford to poop in style. Now, the watches. He reportedly has a watch collection that costs a little under $1 million, which is about 3 times his annual salary. His collection consists of a $60,000 Patek Philippe perpetual calendar and an $18,000 Patek Philippe Calatrava, a Breguet Marine worth $15,000, a $10,000 Blancpain Le Mans flyback, and a Blancpain Le Mans Aqualung Grande Date worth around $10,500. Please keep your jaw from dropping just yet, there is more. The cherry on top of this amazing collection is the $500,000 Turbograph German watch. Now, you're permitted to let your jaw drop. Boris Nemtsov, a former prime minister and solidarity leader who seems to not be a big fan of Putin, commented on his watch collection saying, "Putin, it seems, did not eat or drink for 6 years to acquire this collection." Musa Bin Shamsher. Meet the richest man in Bangladesh. In 2015, he estimated his net worth to be at about $12 million. Are there way richer people? Definitely. Do they use pens worth $10 million? Well, none that we know of. Prince Musa, as he is popularly called, is the chairman and managing director of Datco Group. He has the money and he spends it how he sees fit. He takes the utmost pride in his appearance and never repeats the same designer suit twice, no matter how beautiful. Okay, I'm starting to think that that's a rich people thing. When it comes to jewelry, Prince Musa takes a go big or go home approach. He wears a custom-made Rolex that costs $5 million. Yeah, you heard that right. And a ring worth $1 million. His world-renowned pen is made of 24-karat gold and has 75,000 diamonds. This highly expensive stationery is stored in the Swiss bank when not in use. It's rumored that the 74-year-old, who is happily married with 3 children, takes baths with rose water daily, and this costs him about $5,000. Jamie Chua. Who buys an $11,800 Hermes mini pochette that's extremely tiny and really can't fit anything aside from a piece of tissue? I'll tell you who, the woman with the biggest collection of Hermes bags in the world, 44-year-old Jamie Chua. This socialite is a multi-millionaire with an estimated net worth of between $20 to $80 million. Jamie Chua got a huge chunk of her wealth from her $450,000 per month divorce settlement, but that's a story for another day. The Singaporean socialite, in a video with a bonkers closet, showed off her fingerprint access-only 700-square-foot closet. She uses a filing system to manage space, and she has an abundance of gowns, jackets, and clothing items that would make your jaw drop. Jamie's shoe closet houses over 300 designer shoes with an average cost of $1,500. The shoe collection consists of $3,495 Louis Vuitton spiked heels. And now, let's get to the bags. This woman has over 200 Hermes bags. Birkin bags are quite costly, ranging from $8,000 to $300,000. Birkin recognizes their own, so she had a custom-made, one-of-a-kind Birkin bag with Indian embroidery, because why not? She also has one of the rare Himalayan crocodile Birkins with white gold detailing, and it's embellished with 245 diamonds. What do you think about her Birkin collection? You think it's worth it or not? Mohammed bin Salman Al Saud. The Crown Prince of Saudi Arabia, often referred to as MBS, which is good because, well, his name, never mind. Your perception of this royal depends on what side you look at things from. He does have some achievements like the removal of the ban of female drivers under his belt, but on the other hand, human rights groups aren't his biggest fans, and they have their reasons. Well, we're just here to discuss how the 34-year-old is lavishly spending his own part of the royal family's $1.4 trillion. Am I just broke, or is this a rich people thing? How do you splurge a whopping $450 million, yeah, I said million, not thousand, on a painting? It's the Salvator Mundi by Leonardo da Vinci. Oh, okay, it all makes sense now. No, that's a lie, it doesn't. Another thing that doesn't make sense to me is the $500 million yacht the Crown Prince of Saudi purchased. But hey, doesn't have to make sense to me because it's his wealth. Plus, Birdman's gold toilet taught us that anything's possible. MBS also purchased the Chateau Louis XIV in Louveciennes, which is situated west of Paris. The chateau is said to have fountains, a sound system, lights, and air conditioning that can all be controlled by an iPhone. The 17th century also boasts of a wine cellar, a moat, and many more. Ambani who? I want to be a Saudi royal now. What do you think about the prince's lavish life? Do you think he isn't practicing what he preaches? Elon Musk. Yes, it's very tempting, but no, we will not be discussing Elon Musk's baby's name today. The CEO of Tesla sure does know how to make us feel poor with the things he does with his $54.4 billion fortune. He has several choice properties, astonishing wine cellars, and some pretty amazing cars in his garage. On today's episode of Extremely Cool Things, what we broke people can't afford is props from your favorite movie. While we can't afford them, these rich people have made collecting them a hobby, and Elon Musk belongs to this category. In 2013, Elon purchased a Lotus Esprit for $8,086,000 because it was a prop that was used in the movie The Spy Who Loved Me, the 10th in the James Bond series. As if that was not enough, Elon modified the car using Tesla electric powertrain, and with this modification, the car can now turn into a submarine underwater. This must have cost a fortune, but that didn't deter him because what a billionaire wants, a billionaire gets. If you had an endless supply of moolah, what would be the most ridiculous thing you'd spend it on? Let us know in the comments. And if you haven't joined the Hype Trending Club already, subscribe with those notifications turned on so you can be the first to watch more videos that make you feel poor and inadequate, along with some feel-good ones. See you next time.